If you receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or survivor benefits, what I'm about to explain could directly affect your money starting right now. Beginning December 29th, the Social Security Administration is mailing out a new wave of important notices, and these are not routine letters. These are not just paperwork. These are the kind of notices that quietly decide what happens to your benefits in January and beyond. Many people will open these envelopes and think nothing of them. Some won't open them at all, and that's where the problem starts, because inside these letters are updates that can affect your monthly payment amount, your eligibility, your Medicare costs, and even whether your account is ready for future stimulus-related payments. Before we go any further, take 1 second and subscribe to this channel. I post updates like this because these programs are not simple, and missing one small detail can cost you real money. Subscribing helps you stay informed without stress. Now, let me be very clear right from the start, so no one panics. This does not mean benefits are stopping. This does not mean everyone is losing money, and this does not mean a stimulus check is guaranteed. But ignoring these notices can create delays, holds, or changes that many people don't see coming until it's too late. And that's exactly why I'm talking to you today, because this mailing, timed right at the end of the year, is happening for a reason, and most people have no idea why. Right now, the Social Security system is closing out the year, updating records, syncing payment systems, and preparing for January adjustments. That includes benefit recalculations, income reviews, Medicare premium updates, and account verification. And starting December 29th, millions of people will be notified, quietly, by mail. No headlines, no alerts on your phone, just a letter. Now here's where it gets even more important. Some of these notices include new language tied to payment readiness, language tied to benefit verification, and language that references coordination with federal payment systems, the same systems used for stimulus and relief payments in the past. Most people will read right past it, but you shouldn't. Because what happens in these final days of December can shape what your account looks like in January, February, and beyond. This affects seniors living on fixed incomes. It affects disabled adults relying on SSI and SSDI. It affects widows and survivors. It affects people who worked part-time this year. It affects anyone who moved, changed banks, or had medical or income changes. And here's the part no one explains clearly. The Social Security Administration sends these notices now because January payments are already being processed behind the scenes. Once those systems lock in, fixing an issue becomes much harder. That's why these letters are so critical. Now, before you get too excited, let me say this clearly. These notices do not mean a stimulus check is going out tomorrow. They do not guarantee extra money, but they do determine whether your account is clean, verified, and ready if anything changes in the months ahead. And if you miss something, if you ignore a deadline, if you assume it doesn't apply to you, that's when people run into trouble. In a moment, I'm going to explain exactly what kinds of letters are being sent, what specific phrases you need to look for, and why December 29th is not a random date. I'll also break down how this connects to stimulus updates, what it really means for your money, and what simple steps you should take to protect your benefits. And most importantly, I'll show you how to stay calm and in control, because this process is about preparation, not punishment. Now here's the truth. The people who stay informed don't lose benefits. The people who read their mail don't face surprises. And the people who understand these notices are always one step ahead. Now let's talk about what the Social Security Administration is actually sending and why these letters are arriving right as the year comes to a close. December 29th is not a random date. This is the window when Social Security finalizes end-of-year records and prepares January payments. Behind the scenes, systems are being updated, files are being reviewed, and benefit data is being locked in for the new year. That's why these notices matter so much. Most of the letters being mailed fall into a few key categories, and understanding them can save you a lot of confusion. First, there are benefit confirmation notices. These letters explain what your monthly payment will look like going into January. They may show the same amount you're used to, or they may reflect a small change based on updated calculations. Many people glance at these letters and assume nothing has changed, but the details matter. Next are payment schedule and processing notices. These explain when your payment is scheduled to arrive, especially around holidays and the start of the new year. Even when the amount stays the same, timing can shift slightly, and SSA documents those changes through mail. Then there are SSI and SSDI review notices. These are especially important if you had any income, support, or living arrangement changes during the year. Even small changes can trigger a routine review, and SSA uses these letters to confirm that your information is still accurate. Another group of letters involves Medicare-related updates. These notices may explain adjustments to premiums, deductions, or coverage details for the coming year. Many beneficiaries don't realize that Medicare changes are communicated through Social Security mail, not Medicare mail alone. There are also verification and information requests. These letters ask you to confirm your address, banking information, or identity details. This is not unusual, but it becomes critical at the end of the year because unverified accounts can face delays. Now here's something most people don't realize. Social Security still relies heavily on paper mail for official communication because it's legally recognized, secure, and accessible to seniors who may not use email or smartphones. That's why these notices don't come with flashing alerts or push notifications. They come quietly, in an envelope that looks ordinary, and that's why people miss them. Now let's talk about the part that's getting people's attention, the stimulus-related language. Some of these letters include wording about payment coordination, federal disbursement systems, or account readiness. This language has appeared before during periods when relief payments were being considered or prepared. Before you get too excited, understand this. This does not mean a stimulus payment has been approved. It does not mean extra money is guaranteed. What it means is that Social Security is making sure beneficiary accounts are accurate, verified, and compatible with Treasury payment systems. That preparation matters if any future relief or adjustment happens. And if your information isn't correct, that's when people get left out. Now here's the truth most people never hear. The majority of these letters are informational. They are not warnings. They are not punishments. But ignoring them can still cause problems. A missed verification request can slow payments. An unreported change can trigger reviews later. A wrong bank account can delay deposits. And once January payments are already processing, fixes take time. That's why these notices are arriving now, before the systems fully lock in. Who needs to pay the closest attention? What real-world issues people are facing because they overlooked similar letters in the past, and how these notices can directly affect your money. Because this isn't just paperwork. This is about protecting your benefits, your stability, and your peace of mind going into the new year. Now let's talk about who this affects the most and how these notices can directly impact your money in real life. Because while these letters are being sent to millions of people, not everyone faces the same level of risk if something is overlooked. If you receive SSI, you should pay very close attention. SSI is highly sensitive to income, support, and living arrangements. Even small changes, a family member helping with bills, a temporary job, or a change in housing, can trigger a review. If SSA sent you a notice asking to confirm information and it's ignored, payments can be delayed or adjusted later. If you receive SSDI, especially while working part-time, these letters matter even more. SSA closely tracks earnings, and end-of-year reviews often focus on whether income stayed within allowed limits. A notice may ask you to confirm wages or employment status. Ignoring it can lead to confusion, overpayment notices, or temporary holds while SSA verifies details. Seniors receiving retirement benefits are also affected, especially if anything changed this year. Moving to a new address, switching banks, changing direct deposit, or even correcting a name issue can trigger verification. Many people assume SSA already has the information, but these letters are how SSA confirms it officially. Medicare beneficiaries should be especially alert. Some of these notices explain premium adjustments or deductions that will begin in January. If you don't understand why your net payment looks different, the explanation is usually in one of these letters. Missing it leads to frustration when the deposit arrives lower than expected. Now let me walk you through a few real-world situations that happen every year. A senior receives a letter but sets it aside, assuming it's just an update. The letter actually asks for confirmation of bank information. January arrives and the payment is delayed because the account wasn't verified in time. An SSI recipient had a few months of part-time income earlier in the year. SSA sends a notice asking to confirm totals. The letter goes unopened. Later, SSA flags the account and pauses payment while reviewing records. A Medicare beneficiary sees a slightly smaller Social Security deposit in January. Panic sets in. The explanation was in a December letter that detailed a premium adjustment, but it was never read. These aren't rare cases. They happen every single year. Now let's connect this back to the stimulus update because this is where people get confused. Some notices reference federal payment systems, treasury coordination, or benefit verification language that sounds serious. People assume it means a check is coming or that something is wrong. Here's the truth. This language means SSA is making sure accounts are accurate and up to date. It's about readiness, not promises. During previous relief periods, the people who had clean, verified accounts received payments faster. The people with outdated information faced delays or missed out entirely. That's why this matters now. Even if no stimulus is announced tomorrow, preparation protects you. Now here's something reassuring you need to hear. These notices are not a sign that SSA is targeting you. They are not a threat. They are part of routine year-end processing. The problem isn't the letter. The problem is ignoring it. I'm going to show you exactly what to do next. Simple steps, no stress, no panic, because once you understand how to handle these notices, you take back control and you go into the new year confident, informed, and protected. Now let's talk about exactly what you should do next, because this is where calm action makes all the difference. Starting December 29th, check your mail carefully. Open every letter from the Social Security Administration, even if the envelope looks routine, even if you think nothing has changed. These notices are sent for a reason, and the details inside matter. When you open the letter, look for a few key things. First, check the date on the notice. Deadlines matter. If the letter asks you to respond or confirm information, don't wait weeks. The earlier you act, the smoother everything goes. Second, read the reason for the notice. Is it confirming your benefit amount? Is it asking you to verify income, address, or bank details? Is it explaining a Medicare premium adjustment? Third, review your personal information carefully. Make sure your name, address, and bank account are correct. A small error can cause big delays. Now, one of the smartest things you can do is log into your Social Security account. Compare what you see online with what's in the letter. If everything matches, that's peace of mind. If something doesn't look right, you've caught it early. And that's exactly the point of these notices. Here's what you should not do. Do not panic. Do not assume the worst. Do not throw the letter away. Do not wait until payments are delayed before taking action. And if you're unsure about a notice, use official channels. Go directly to the Social Security website. Use the phone number listed on the notice itself. Avoid third-party calls or messages claiming to help you with SSA issues. Now let's address the stimulus update one last time, calmly and clearly. There is no guaranteed stimulus payment announced today. These notices are not checks, but they are part of keeping beneficiary accounts accurate and ready. If relief or adjustments are approved in the future, the people who stay up to date now are the ones who avoid problems later. Preparation is protection. And here's the reassurance you deserve. If you read your mail, verify your information, and respond when needed, your benefits are secure. Social Security is not looking to take money away. It's making sure payments continue smoothly into the new year. This process exists to protect you, even if it doesn't always feel that way. So stay informed, stay calm, stay one step ahead. And if you want clear, honest updates that explain what no one else takes the time to break down, make sure you subscribe. Staying informed is the best way to protect your benefits and your peace of mind. Thank you for being here. Stay informed, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next update.